welcome to Ariel's Bookshelf. I'm Ariel Roshi. And today I'm in such a good mood. Anyway, so today we're going to be doing Carnival at Candlelight Magic Trios. This is a Merlin mission. Merlin mission, I think, people say they're very rare, but I think they happen very, very often. In fact, the last books I've reviewed are all Merlin missions. They're usually in a little pack together, like in a little, kind of, you would say, a little time period in the series. So this one, the Carnival at Candlelight, Merlin has a new mission for Jack and Annie, and then they have to go over 250 years. Save the Grand Lady of the Lagoon from a terrible disaster. The Grand Lady of the Lagoon, they think it's a Grand Lady. It's not a Grand Lady, pretty obvious. The Grand Lady of the Lagoon is basically Venice, Italy. The terrible disaster is that the water is rising and there's going to be a big flood. They need to save Venice, right? Don't they? If you agree, then you can say yes. And pause the video if you want. But I just have to say that Jack and Annie find Merlin's destruction absolutely, so terribly confusing. They don't know a clue of what it means. Except that they have to go to Venice, Italy and save the Grand Lady of the Lagoon from a terrible disaster. They don't understand the rest of the things. It is a very interesting mission, and there's lots of different things filled in. I'm gonna find the thing. It says that they have to go and find the mystery in Venice, Italy, and that they have to go find the angel wing and something, and a bunch of other things. So then they don't read it until they get there, because I think that's pretty reckless. They should read it before. But I would love everyone in the whole wide world to read these Magic Trios books. They're so, so good for your imagination. And in fact, when I found this hollow tree, I found out that I can make this little hole a doorway, and I went to the hollow of the tree, and now it's my own little treehouse. Just like the Magic Treehouse. And when I sit there and read these books, I imagine I'm going there with them, but I'm just invisible and they can't hear me. Mary Pop Osborne, if you're listening to this video, you are so good at making books, and you make readers like me feel like they're going into another world. Like, these books are your time machine, and you're sending us back in time. You're Merlin, Morgan, Kathleen, Penny, and Teddy, and you are sending us to another dimensions, giving us missions and helping us. When we see those riddles that Jack and Annie solved, some of us, we like to try and solve the riddles beforehand, and after we read the book, we're like, oh my gosh, such an amazing book. And I just love the way you make these books. You're a very talented author. When I grow up, I don't exactly want to be an author. I don't know if I might be, but one thing I know I might want to do, I want to be like testing books, and like I want to help people and then tell them if they're good, especially children books, because one thing I know, as long as I grow up, these books will keep me a child. And these are just books that make me stay a child, stay with an open mind, and make me keep loving reading. I love them. Moonlight on the Magic Flute, and it's a Merlin mission. So then Jack and Annie are to find the greatnesses of several artists. They can be several types of artists. Someone who paints something, an artist like a piano artist, like someone who plays music, or someone who tells stories and keeps tales alive. If people stop believing in gods, then imagine if gods are actually real. Those gods that you worship, if you only worship one god, imagine if those are real, but then people stop believing in them. You have to always believe. If you don't believe, then the legends go away. Just like if someone keeps believing in the legend of Camelot. Everyone knows it's probably buried deep in the earth, but what if they found a way to survive that we haven't found out yet? What if they have genius ways of technology that we haven't found yet, and they actually use due to all the things that have fell down in hurricanes and those wires that have fell and those are underground? Maybe they are rich and have diamonds, and they've come to a different part of soil that we've never been before. Maybe they might be even living in the core alive, and they might be dead. There are many possibilities, but I think you should always think in the positive one. This book it's not about Moonlight on Magic Flute, but they get a magic instrument for each and every mission here to find the greatnesses. And these ones are the greatnesses for, you probably know Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. Mozart. The last name catches you. But to be honest, the middle name catches you. There's this show called Little Amadeus. If you know it, then it's all about Mozart's life and little things that they've made up. And he had a very big enemy in real life that wanted to steal literal magical notes. He's such a good pianist. I don't know how he got the talent. Maybe it's from practicing. Maybe he was born with it, like I'm born to read books and review them for you. So we should go back, obviously. So then, Moonlight and the Magic Flute. They have to help a magician or a artist, but they don't know. Because in this one, Wolfgang is a little boy. They don't know that the little boy that's been annoying Jack and Annie is Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, who need to put him on his path to give his amazing music gifts to the world. And so in this one, they succeed, but then that involves a whole bunch of crazy magical zoo and with a bunch of animals and a beautiful song. And it's kind of funny too. I just have to say that the lesson is, when you believe, things come real. You just have to believe and have hope, and you have to practice very much. Very big thing. Practice. A good night for ghosts, and this is Magic Tree as a Merlin mission. So Jack and Annie meet Louis Armstrong. Fortunately for them, it's a very good thing that Louis Armstrong is the most kindest, friendliest kid Jack and Annie have ever met. He's very, very, very nice. I would love to be friends with him. But he says that everyone is his friend, so I think I am his friend already. And then when they say Teddy and Kathleen told him to do this, he's like, I know Teddy and Kathleen. Any friend of Teddy and Kathleen is mine. And they're like, wait, you know Teddy and Kathleen? But he's like, no, I don't, but I consider everyone my friend. And that's a very nice thing. So anyway, they came on All Saints Eve. So it is the spookiest day of the year, and this involves a daring plan by Jack and Annie. It also involves a ghost, a bunch of New Orleans, a host of the New Orleans ghosts. That's pretty much rhyming words. And an amazing song displayed by Louis Armstrong. And there's another one here. It says that I've got these go-kart blues, and I am very confused. And I'm just about to lose my mind. That doesn't rhyme. And I think that you should read this book if you're looking for musical talents. And just in all, you should just read it. In all. It's such a good song and a good book that I don't care if you want music talent or not, you should just read it. I would encourage everyone who wants to read a book to read this book specifically. And I just say that this is the most luckiest one I've ever seen. Mary Pop Osborne, how do you get these ideas for books? How do you? Please tell me. And I just have to say that Mary Pop Osborne made lives for many readers like me very interesting. And I love when authors do that, because then people actually have some interest to do it. And people like me have interest to give reviews and make other people read it. You do realize that every single time someone buys a book from the store that's by a certain author, that author gets money. And, you know, I think hard work is a very important lesson here. We should just say that if you hard work, let's say you only have like 2 pennies, but you are working hard. So if you only have 2 pennies one day, and you work hard, very hard, next week, you could be a billionaire with $1,000 or more. You just need to work hard. But I mean, of course it couldn't take a week, unless you're a magician, of course. But if you're a magician, you can just create a whole pile of money behind you. But I think that if you hard work, you'll feel good about earning the money. If you just had a robot that would print you money, you'd feel bad. Because like, you need to actually work hard. It's just a feeling that you need to have. The high time for heroes. This is a Merlin mission. So, high time for heroes. You might wonder, who are the heroes? Looking from the picture, it might be kind of obvious. But it might not be obvious because you might not have read the book. But that's fine, because I'll help you. So that's Jack and that's Annie. And Annie's trying to save Jack because he accidentally slipped when they got their mist gathered on the first something, something, something. And anyway, so then mist gathers at the first light on the first day of the new moon on the Isle of Avalon. Those are the things they say when they get their 1 hour of greatness at one thing. So in that one, in the hour of greatness, they get to do one thing that they're great at. In this one, you might not know from the picture, but they choose rock climbing, but Jack accidentally slips. Of course, professional rock climbers also slip. But then they're like, hey, wait, remember, I know everything, and then they go back onto it. I think the lesson I should say is focus. If you have a good focus on something, if you have a good concentration, you can do anything. Like for an exam or a test, if you're very scared, then that's fine. If you just focus on it and if you don't take notice on the people that are trying to distract you and try to make you fail the test, you will get it 1,000. Maybe you might even get extra credit. So then just be focused, okay? Just like right now, you should be focused on this book. And in this one, they save Cuckoo, this little monkey. He's so cute. But he looks scared in this picture. That's because he thinks Jack's gonna fall. But then Jack remembers, hey, I'm a professional rock climber. I can do this. He goes back on his focus. Focus. Such an important word. But I would say that a secret of greatness they find in here is if you want to be great, then you must have a purpose to do in life. A meaning and purpose to do in life. And I'd say that covers everything up here, and I'll see you later.